This thing, this theater?
Yes.
It's live. It's happening. It's now. It's immediate. It's the continuation and the creation of To Kill a Mockingbird, and has always been a high spot for me. We did 12 years ago, then we did 10 years ago, and now we're doing it again. And for some reason, audiences always respond to this show. The story is so pure, the message is so clean, and Harper Lee nails it. She nails it. I love going to Iowa or Michigan or Pennsylvania or Louisiana, sitting in the back and seeing our theater company in these halls all over the country and bringing people to their feet with cheers or laughter. And we make it here in Missoula. We make it right here, and we send it out to the world. And we work with the best writers: Tennessee Williams, Arthur Miller, Harper Lee, Eugene O'Neill, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe. We're lucky. We get our niche is the American canon. Our niche is the great American playwright. Next year we're working on Bus Stop, and to work on William Inge, who is just such a profoundly beautiful playwright and understanding of the human condition with a very subtle sense of humor. There are things that are added to what the Montana Rep is. What the Montana Rep is at its soul and heart is a national touring company. The actors, upper-level students from the University of Montana and graduate students have the opportunity to work here.
First of all, growing up in the West, we don't have the opportunity to just go down to Broadway and see a play. So when I was in high school in Great Falls, every year we would come to Missoula and see the Montana Rep show. And for me, that was the tippy top. I mean, that was what I looked forward to every year, and that was a goal that I set for myself.
And we cast for professional actors from Actors Equity in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Seattle.
Once upon a time, theater was used as a medium for change. I mean, the queen would come to the theater, and she would see something, and then she would go back to her palace, and then something would change, and society would change because of it.
Without the story, you don't know where you've been. It's hard to figure out where you're going. And the stories that we say, like Rob says, are full of opportunities for change. Tell people that they're the same as much as they are different in the world. That we who work out of Montana are just the same as people who work out of New York or London or Madrid or someplace over in Africa. It doesn't matter. The story of the human condition is the same.
I've been in the theater for 42 years, and I've worked on Broadway, and I've worked in the top regional theaters in the country. And to do a show like this, the venues that we play all over the country, reminds me of the Barrymores and Catherine Cornell and the great actors of the turn of the century that would travel all over this country to take theater to the hinterlands or to the small areas. And when we do that, and we've been doing that for a while, and Montana Rep's been doing it for 28 years.
Plop down in a town for 2 days and do Death of a Salesman or Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, and then pack up our tent the next morning and go to the next town. We have 3 vans and 2 trucks. We have all the lighting equipment, all the sets. We drive ourselves, and we go all over the country, basically 1 and 2 night stands. So it really is like the old circus days or the carnival. A carnival is actually for a week. Now we come in, we do the show once or twice. A long stay is a week. It's quite a life. It's quite a life. The Colony is an opportunity to work with young writers and old writers. We bring them together in Missoula for 10 days in the summertime. They have a ball, we float the rivers, we take hikes, and we write all at the same time. The educational outreach program that we've been doing for 20 years, it's literature-based. We try to find what the high school or middle school curriculum is, and we'll create a play based on what they're teaching. For instance, this year we're doing Edgar Allan Poe. Last year we did Mark Twain. We did Antigone, and we've also done the Beat Poets. So we do a lot of plays based on the great writers or great writing styles. Montana Rep Missoula, which is our downtown baby. We just stimulate the community of Missoula. We have a little theater, 99-seat house downtown, where we just, on a shoestring, we do theater with a lot of passion and grit and guts. Something happens. I found I'm a New Yorker. When I first came to Missoula, I said, "What is this? This is a very exciting town. People are doing things. There's an energy in this town that's very conducive to the creative spirit." And I felt that from the very day I walked into this town. So we make things in this town that go out into the world, and not just the Rep, artists, the Children's Theater across the river, the writers in this town. So there's something going on in Missoula. We're part of the reflection of that, and we get to take that energy all over the country.
The Montana Repertory Theater.
Telling the great stories of our world to
enlighten, develop,
and celebrate the human spirit in an ever-expanding community.